Normie family members of mine said that they have Jewish people around them that constantly talk about rising anti-Semitism, so they won't even let me talk about the problems with Zionism or even what a pogrom is. How do you approach that with people around you? I mean, it's true. Anti-Semitism is rising. Anti-Semitism is unacceptable. It is a form of bigotry that oftentimes leads people to agree with fascist narratives. So you don't have to like counter that. It's correct. Anti-Semitism is absolutely fucking rising all around. One of the major factors that plays into anti-Semitism rising all around is that Israel is not the fucking moral democratic nation that the American media has represented it as. Anti-Semitism is rising because of Israel's actions being paired up with Judaism. For a lot of average people who have associations or like in an offhanded remark will like be significantly more susceptible to anti-Semitic sentiment, like Jews control the media or whatever. Things that we consider in here to be obviously non-starters, a lot of Americans believe that shit already, or they're primed to believe that shit. So when fucking Israel does this stuff and says we're doing this for Judaism, and then Jake Tapper turns around and says Israel has to defend itself, and it's actually for Judaism, and you're fucking anti-Semitic for criticizing it, then yeah, people who are already primed to be anti-Semitic who haven't fucking read into it are going to be like, oh, dude, I see it now. Like, it's 100% Jews control the media. Like, of course. Of course people are going to fucking think that way. That's why I, like, spend every goddamn day combating anti-Semitism and also engaging in anti-Zionism at the same time. There's no reason that you are a Nazi. Israel is not Judaism. Yep, you are a Nazi. Just saying the truth. Chat not gonna like that one. Yeah, you already made up your mind. You think this chat is anti-Semitic, and that you also called someone a Nazi for saying Israel is not Judaism. It's not. You have been told a fucking lie. Okay? So are you ignorant of the IDF censoring CNN? This was covered in January. What are you talking about? There's no such thing as a war crime against... What? Shut the fuck up, you golden retriever for Zionist. Tell us what you should consider the Israeli psyche. I'm a golden retriever. Bro, I'm trying to start a fight. Okay, well, fuck off then. Golden retriever for Zionists. Yeah, it's legitimately on the rise. One of the dumb apolitical guys in my work dropped the honestly, I get it now. I can see why everyone hates the Jews in reference to Israel influence on U.S. politics. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is 100% a sentiment that is like increasingly becoming more commonplace. That's not a fucking joke. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, but the primary culprit is Nazism, not anti-Zionism in my experience. No, of course not. Of course the primary culprit is fascists and Nazis and anti-Semites themselves who are taking advantage of the underlying anti-Semitic tendencies that people might have and then pairing that up with like valid criticisms of Israel. All they need to do is just point to what the fuck's going on and be like, see, I told you Jews control the media. See, I told you Jews control key aspects of American society. When it has nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever. But on the other side, you have Israel saying, no, this has everything to do with Judaism. Every Palestinian we're killing because of Judaism. Because Jews love doing that, okay? That's what they're saying. That's how people see it. I don't have any fucking power in trying to combat against this narrative when that is what is being telegraphed from every fucking everything that people see and think in the media. Still don't understand why. Oh yeah, I mean this is fucking insane. But yeah, Rafah, Israeli soldiers in Rafah looting and wearing women's underwear and dresses belonging to displaced or killed Palestinian women. Like they do this shit all the fucking time. I don't understand what the fuck they're doing. Like, why is this? It's in Han Yunis, not Rafah, apparently. But like, it makes no damn sense. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this is so unimaginably weird. Like, this is just such freak shit, dude. It's freaky ass shit. It's just like reflexively flexing the power that you have over a population of people that you're fucking dominating militarily. That's what they're doing. But it's just like, it doesn't make fucking sense. How do you get those guys to be normal again, by the way? That's the other side of this. Those are like relatively young Israelis, you know? Relatively young Israelis. How do you get them to be normal again? How do you get them to fucking participate in normal society? It's not. It's over. Would you agree that anti-Semites are Zionists to some extent? Yes. Of course I would. They're fascists of a different flavor. That's it. Anti-Semites literally want what Israel is doing, but for white people, what they consider to be white people. That is a, changeable, that is something that can change. I mean, Richard Spencer, prominent American neo-Nazi, straight up will be like, yeah, we want to do Israel, but for whites. And also, anti-Semites and Zionists utilize the same language. Anti-Semites say all Jews, like that's why the conversation around criticizing Israel so quickly turns into this like weird fucking dynamic, because anti-Semites say Israel is doing this for Judaism. All Jews are responsible for Israel's actions, but so do the fucking Zionists. They say the same shit. Like, most real people I know cannot differentiate between Israel and the Jews. So yeah, kind of a shitty aspect for American Jews. So since most are anti-Zionist and are being looked at as part of this as it continues to escalate, especially for our demographic, for our age group. Okay, under the age of 35, there's a shit ton of anti-Zionist Jews. As a diaspora Jew and not a Zionist, watching Israel and Zionists do genocide is wild, because we are both on the dinner plate of white supremacy. If Palestinians are eradicated, we're back on the menu. Genocide is always wrong, but it's like, it's not even self-preservation in the long run. Yeah, it's just, it's crazy. Yeah, Richard Spencer was confronted by a Zionist, and his retort was that he sees Israel as a model for a white ethno-state, and the Zionists had no answer to that. Yeah. Richard Spencer has openly fucking talked about how he wants to do Israel, but for white people. He is a neo-Nazi.
We are still getting information and video coming in showing the extent of this operation. But what we're hearing from the Israeli side is that they are...
Yeah, what we're hearing from the Israeli side is they are, again, engaging in a siege and an offensive campaign in an occupied territory that they are illegally occupying. Okay? Is that they're just doing an anti-terror operation. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's fucking bullshit.
Trying to...
and this isn't Gaza, chat. This is West Bank. This is the other side of the equation. This is like... this is territory that Israel illegally occupies, where there's, the hostages aren't there. There's no fucking Hamas there. You know what I mean? This is like... They're just saying there's Hamas there. There's no Hamas governance in the West Bank.
Iranian terrorist infrastructure, as they put it, in this area from the Palestinian side, and certainly from those in Jenin, one of the key areas that has been targeted, certainly from the governor. They are...
How do you know that there is no Hamas governance in the West Bank? I mean, you're basically betraying what other kind of like liberal Zionist sentiment you might try to display otherwise if you fucking openly admit that every Palestinian is Hamas, where you I guess come to that recognition that you make no distinction. Okay, I was just kidding. Okay, take a day off. No jokes right now. Come on, dude.
Are concerned about access to hospitals, about hundreds within those hospitals itself, given that they're claiming that Israel has restricted all access there. We heard from the Red Crescent Society as well, saying that their manoeuvring of ambulances has been heavily restricted by the Israeli military as well. Max, Christina?
If this war expands from Gaza to the West Bank, that's obviously a big escalation of that war, isn't it? Does Israel have the resources for that?
The right. Yeah, that's the real problem here. Does Israel have enough weapons to bomb the West Bank and Gaza at the same time? Yeah, I mean, I saw this tweet from Felix. People don't stop acting like this, making a mass rapist concentration camp guard a media star until they're too afraid to try it again for a while. I hope that happens soon, or else the world is stuck with a nuclear-armed version of the North Fox Island pedophile ring. Like, this is literally that guy Shitrich, or however you say his last name, I don't know. He is a Sede Taimon concentration camp prison guard that was detained for being one of the fucking main rapists who raped a Palestinian to death. This is like down to the Hamas are doing mass rapes on Israeli women narratives. Like every single thing has fallen flat and has been just pure projection. I said this on like October 10. I talked about how there has always been a long and recorded history of mass rapes of Palestinians under Israeli detention facilities. And at the time, people were looking at me like I'm crazy. People tried to even fucking say like, oh, well, here's a study conducted by someone that shows that Israelis are so racist that they actually don't rape Palestinians, that they actually rape Palestinians less than other kinds of rape that have occurred. That's what they fucking said. Adamir is a Palestinian human rights group that was declared a terrorist organization for actively monitoring these sorts of instances of rape under detention, Israeli detention. They shut it off they shut off this flow of information on in every avenue. If you go back and listen to my conversations, whether it be with Ethan on Leftovers or whether it be from like October 10, early October, you'll see how much of the things that I have said, maybe you had an issue with them at the time because you were uninitiated and you were unfamiliar with this process, but how much of the fucking things that I've said that you now agree with, okay? Not because you were in here the entire time, by the way, but perhaps because you have now come to recognize it. It's not like I had the fucking gift of foresight. I was simply reiterating things that I know about the Palestinian plight before October 7. It's not foresight. Yeah, it's hindsight.
Meeting today that Israel should carry out operations in the West Bank like they've been carrying out in Gaza.
Yeah, it shows toughness, dude. It definitely shows toughness when you just start murking fucking people in the West Bank too. Yeah, Israel's foreign minister. This is the White House columnist Niall Stanaj at The Hill. Israel's foreign minister calling for the temporary evacuation of Palestinian residents in the West Bank. Temporary is an interesting word choice in a territory Israel's occupied for 57 years. Completely illegal, by the way. Completely illegal. Like nothing that they do. Also, where would they evacuate?
Certainly would be quite an escalation.
Yes, it would. All right, Jim
I have a question. Isn't it completely legal for Palestinians and Muslims in the West Bank to fight back against the Israeli occupying force? Abso-fucking-lutely. 1,000,000%. Completely legal. Of course. It is their right. What do you mean? It is legal. It is moral. It is just. But of course, none of that really fucking matters when we're talking about Israel and the United States of America.
Great to have you there. Thanks so much.
Welcome to the occupied West Bank. We're in the Palestinian village of Beita. The tear gas has begun unusually.
I don't get it. Are you waiting until Hamas kills everyone for them to defend themselves? What are you talking about? Yeah, it is 100% illegal for Israel to do what they're doing and 100% legal for Hamas to fight back. It is 100% legal for everyone in the West Bank to fight back. Straight up. Israel is a belligerent occupier. Okay? And as a belligerent occupier, they do not have the right to lay siege on Palestinian territories that they currently are a belligerent occupier of. obviously legality is fucking meaningless and morality is fucking meaningless at this point, because obviously might is right is the way that these things play out.
Early today, these scenes have become a weekly ritual. Palestinians holding a small demonstration.
This you from like 2 years
I'm
ago
actually
saying
so scared about all of these videos, dude, because I feel like this is gonna be straight up like there's gonna be TOS in this. You know what I mean? Anyway, I do want to see this. I do want to see, why is Amnesty International being kind of fucking wild? This is actually surprising. I'm watching it right now. The check Amnesty International TOS moments, dead bodies at 3:30 to 3:37, one dead body, then bloodied face. Still going through the rest. Thank you.
The word apartheid, what do you think of? Probably the disturbing images of racial segregation between whites and blacks in South Africa, where a regime ruled by a racist white minority declared themselves officially superior to the black majority, then proceeded to dominate them. South Africa's apartheid.
The haircut wasn't it, Hassan. Got to keep it real. I know, dude. I know. Listen, re-reacting, I'm not going to re-react, but like, obviously, I'm saying the same exact shit that I was saying now that back then, pre-October 7. Obligatory damn, you look so good now, chatter reporting in. Yeah. I'll look a lot better if you're subscribed at the top of the hour as well, because there's a 3-minute ad break coming for you. There were a lot of horrific moments.
Potawatomi trail of...
You don't know his ass until you try, not an L King? Yeah. I also lost a lot of weight. Yes. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Let's continue.
After Friday prayers,
Yeah, 15-minute video, 1 hour react. Good numbers.
Israeli soldiers firing tear gas down at them.
Palestinians have been protesting like this for years and years, but if anything, the situation for them on the ground is only getting more and more difficult. The Israeli army becoming more and more uncompromising, particularly since October the 7th.
At times, the Israelis shoot live bullets. More than a dozen people have been killed around Beta in the past few years, since demonstrations against a new nearby Israeli settlement began.
Like, remember, what's going on here is you have settlers coming in and bullying with the Israeli occupying force defense, bullying Palestinians out of their homes that they've lived in, okay? Then they come in and they build a temporary housing on top of the area that they destroy. Palestinians protest that. The Israeli occupying force comes in and shoots them and fucking kills them. And then you rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And also, these settlers are not always coming from, you know, nearby regions either. Most of these guys are also coming from like America and other places.
Settlers here, they stole our land. And every Friday we come here just to pray peacefully. But they don't want even this. They don't want this. They shoot us as you know, as you see.
We leave Beta and head to the settlement they're protesting against.
The International Court of Justice has said that all Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank should be dismantled. If anything, they're actually expanding more rapidly than ever before. We're on our way now to Eviatar, which is one of the newest ones.
Named after a settler killed by Palestinians nearby, Eviatar was founded by ultra-hardline activists who see themselves as pioneers on land promised to them by God.
I think the ICC should expand its arrest warrants away from just simply Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant and expand it to other Israeli administration officials as well, especially since the ICJ considered settlements to be an act of war and a violation of human rights. The ICC should also put settlers on that same front, okay, and start putting out arrest warrants for some officials. For example, if there's like Ben Gvir, Smotrich, but then even beyond that, beyond Ben Gvir and Smotrich, settlers with dual nationality. There's a lot of settlers with dual citizenship. Okay, they have family members back in the West. in Rome Statute nations. Not all of them are from America. America doesn't abide by the Rome Statute. Doesn't matter. America doesn't abide by the ICC or the ICJ's decisions unless it's one that goes along with American foreign policy interests. For example, when it's like, Russia, right? So in that process, yeah, if they fly back to see their fucking family members, boom, arrest them. Okay, that's it. They're war criminals. Arrest them for the war crimes that they're engaging in. Let's see what works. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the fuck happens. What's America gonna do? Are they actually gonna invade The Hague for some random fucking settler, dude? Some random inbred ultra nationalist, ultra Zionist, Nazi fucking piece of shit? Go ahead, dude. It would collapse the international order that they are desperately trying to cling on to. It already is, by the way, but this would be the final strike.
Outpost was initially even considered illegal under Israeli law, but it was recognized by the state last month, along with several others. Israel's far-right finance minister visited to congratulate Eviatar's residents.
Oh, you would support George Bush getting arrested then? The U.S. did it too? Oh my God, I'm gonna nut, dude. Are you kidding me?
Bezalel Smotrich, himself a settler, is spearheading efforts to fully annex the West Bank. For the settlers constructing these ramshackle homes, they're reclaiming a Jewish ancestral and spiritual homeland and protecting it.
At the moment we're 15, maybe 20 by the end of the summer.
Malkiel is Eviatar's head of security.
But the settlements that you're building here, they make a Palestinian state.
This is just straight Rhodesia shit, by the way. Straight up, like, it's crazy.
The two-state solution, impossible practically, but I guess that's part of the aim.
Well, I'll ask you, if you have a Palestinian state here, who will protect Tel Aviv from being rocketed?
Well, the army.
Apparently
the army.
UNRWA. The army? Well, as long as we hear the army here. If you take the Palestinians seriously and you take the Hamas seriously and you hear what they're saying, they're talking about from the river to the sea.
That's effectively your slogan. From the river to the sea should be all Israel.
Well, it was much more, actually.
Around 700,000 settlers now live in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, most in large enclaves like this. The West Bank was seized by Israel in the 1967 war. Internationally, it's all considered to be Palestinian land, key to any future Palestinian state. Since the 1990s, more urban areas have been partially controlled by the Palestinian Authority, the rest by the Israeli military. But the territory is now dotted with Israeli settlements widely considered illegal. And over the past 2 years, under Israel's current hardline government, they've seen unprecedented growth. Emboldened by allies in the heart of Israel's government, violence by settlers targeting Palestinians has been rising sharply. This was an attack earlier this month where homes and cars were set alight and one man killed. But the settlers see themselves as the victims. Stabbing and shooting attacks by Palestinians had been growing more frequent even before October the 7th. And with the
2023 was the deadliest year for Palestinian children, according to Euromed, an article that came out on October 6th, as a matter of fact.
Occupation entrenched and deadly Israeli army raids ramping up. Grassroots support in the West Bank for Hamas is soaring.
I had a friend in high school that was Israeli and came to Texas for a year. In 2014, he said Netanyahu will be the next Hitler, even back then, hoping he hasn't been conscripted for this madness. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people that used to say Netanyahu's Hitler, a sentiment that, like, many Israelis actually fucking recognized, completely fucking dropped that shit. Or just basically started saying, well, our version of Hitler is good, actually. It's a necessary evil. So many people's brains got completely fucking broken. Went back to your channel and noticed that literally nothing changed from 2021. even your commentary relating to Biden. Yeah, where people are at, but something that helped me when I was learning more about Palestine a few years ago was reading about the everyday mechanisms of control the Palestinians deal with, from roads to water to ID cards. Thought I'd share. Some people are more equal than others. This is kind of funny because like this is from 2021, right? And it's like literally, look at my fucking hair. What was I doing? Literally, I use similar infographics still to this fucking day because nothing has changed. 6.6 million.
Finally moved back. We're in a small tent site not far from the border with Gaza. It might look like a bohemian summer camp, complete with family-friendly activities. But this is an unabashed radical fringe, backed ideologically by senior far-right members of government, that believes Gaza is Jewish land. On Yosef's neck, a tattoo of a band.
That's a Jewish power tattoo.
And extremist group. For him, the death and destruction.
That's literally a Nazi tattoo, by the way. Like Jewish Defense League. Like that right there, that tattoo is the exact same as like, it's like the Jewish swastika, basically. Straight up, is a terror cell. They've killed people in America. That's not even a joke.
Straight up. Gaza represents an opportunity to take it over.
It is, when I say this, like, I'm letting you know, like, this is straight the fuck up. When I say this is straight up a Nazi tattoo, like, I mean it. Every now and then you'll have a bunch of fucking weirdos like Nazis online post like videos, right? They'll post videos of like some Jewish dudes sitting in a fucking room talking about how like the goyim are cattle or whatever, right? You know, and they'll be like, see, this is what the Jews believe. And it's always the same like 8 videos. Okay. These are the guys who say shit like that. Like, it is a Jewish supremacist ideology. And it's ironic because like the people posting those videos are literally fucking fascists. They're just anti-Semitic fascists. So they hate the other side of the fucking equation for the exact same principles. It's like, it's kind of similar to how like Republicans will be like, oh, we don't want that Muslim shit here. They're backwards. You know, we don't want that Muslim shit here. They're backwards. They're groomers. They want to fucking do child brides. And it's like, bro, you want to do child brides. You know what I mean? You're just mad, I guess, because in your mind, you think like Muslims also want to do it. It's literally like fascists that hate and claim that like all Jews believe in like Jewish supremacy, okay? Ironically, have white supremacist attitudes, and they're just projecting their own fucking hatred against one subgroup that has the exact same ideology that they do. It's just the in-group is different. Yeah, that's why I always say conservatives hate conservatives in other countries. They hate it.
It's not really colonialism, it's a return. My grandparents were kicked out of Israel by Arabs who were trying to establish a Palestinian state, and they had to leave for their survival, and I'm just coming back and fulfilling their dream. That would be the first thing. The second thing is, I think that...
Sorry, your grandparents' dreams sucked ass, okay? And you suck ass. I don't give a fuck about your grandparents' dreams. I don't give a fuck about your dreams. If your dreams require the mass ethnic cleansing of Palestinians for it to be realized, okay? Dream something better, dumbass, okay? Get better dreams. Stupid asshole.
And I know this is a minority view. I think colonialism gets a bad rap. Like, genocide is bad, but colonizing places that are genocidal and they have bad ideology, it's good to come in and correct their views.
What do you think should happen to the people who are already in Gaza?
So I think that there's a couple of possibilities. The one that I think is the most realistic is we got to ask other countries for help. I know that Spain was willing to take a couple of million. I know Russia said they would take a couple of thousand.
To a lot of people, that would sound like you're advocating for ethnic cleansing.
I don't think so, because Palestinian isn't an ethnicity, it's an ideology, and it's an ideology that says that they want Jews dead, and so we want them as far away from Jews
Yeah, no,
as
you can kill them all then, dude, you know? Yeah, Judaism is not an ethnicity, it's just an ideology that wants to fucking destroy Germany that belongs to the wonderful folk. Is exactly the same fucking argument that Nazis had. I feel like something happened along the way where, like, do we just not educate people on the fucking Holocaust, including Jewish people? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, do people think that, like, there wasn't a deliberate effort to dehumanize Jews in Germany before people basically arrived at the conclusion that they must be sent to fucking camps? Like, do people think that there is just, like, do people think that it happened overnight? Like, it was just, oh yeah, dude, yeah, fuck yeah, this is great, actually. Yeah, no, I think Jews are wonderful people, but we should still fucking ship them to camps. Is that how that happened? No, they had their own fucking version of the rationale, you know, which is identical to this psycho's rationale. Like, how is this? Like, it makes no sense. Just think for like 3 seconds. Think about it. Okay? Please think about it. The very same mechanisms and the very same cycle of dehumanization that is occurring in Israel on a daily basis, that occurs in every, like, Zionist institution that churns out this kind of, like, anti-Palestinian, anti-Arab, anti-Muslim sentiment, anti-Muslim propaganda, is being conducted with the deliberate intent to make people feel this way, that, like, Palestinians are basically hiding in every corner and they're controlling all the, you know, they're dying in a telegenic way to make people feel sympathetic to them.